Hey, welcome to our Wednesday Wisdom for this week. I think we're all pretty familiar with and kind of frustrated by the amount of polarization there is in our society. We see it over this old Minnesota business and immigration enforcement and the real division right down the middle between people. And we don't know a way to find our way out of it, but we need to rediscover that we got a lot more in common than we have dividing us. And it reminded me of, our neighborhood when we were growing up as kids. Everybody was maybe different Christian religions, but we all kind of got along and everybody had shared values. And I was reading this story about people in another neighborhood who, despite their differences, even politically, they all got along for a while, long time. And they, little by little, started drifting apart. And on the one side was this guy, Joe, and on the other side was this woman, Amy. And I guess political differences had gotten them. People on the street stopped talking to each other, and they started putting out signs, taking political stances, and nobody would talk anymore. Until one day there was a hurricane, and this huge tree got knocked down right across the street, and most of the block was stuck because it was a dead end, and people couldn't get out of their homes, and there was so much damage in the area that there wasn't any. The government wasn't able to be much help. So Joe found himself grabbing his chainsaw, and he went out and started cutting up the tree all by himself. And then little by little, a few teenagers came out and started collecting up all the branches. And then Amy came out with a thermos full of coffee and started handing out cups of coffee. And then some of the older people came with brooms, and they started sweeping up all the little branches. And after a while, they worked most of the day to cut up the tree. They started talking to each other again and started laughing. And by the end of the day, somebody said, why don't we do a little block party once the storm is over? And they found in a common task where they had to face a problem together, they found a way forward in the disunity they had before. But the things they shared together were more important. So maybe we got to look for that.